podcast. Tune in for everything you need to know regarding the automotive industry. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
Hey, what is going on, Automotive Nation? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. I don't really care. Hey, thank you for taking the time to come jam with me today. Hold on a second. We are on air. There we go. We're on air. Okay. It's the little things, guys. You got to watch for little things. Hey, I am so excited you guys to decide to come join us on this pre-NADA chat. That's right. I said NADA, the Super Bowl, all right, of conferences and automotive events. And boy, guys, do I have a powerhouse of a couple. Yeah, I called them a couple. I have a powerhouse with me today, guys. I am so excited to have these two on. We are going to have an amazing conversation. We're going to talk anything and everything we need to talk about, getting ready for one of the biggest conferences of the year. I have the also famous, they did not have to pay me to say this, I have Fred and Lou with Car Guy Coffee. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
What's going on, Jason? Excited to be here, brother. Thanks for having us.
Hey, man, guys, always excited to be on a show with you, brother. You always bring the fire, you always bring the humor, and more importantly, man, you always bring the knowledge. And it's fun to be able to spitball with you and really just pick up our game a little bit and really talk about some stuff. And usually when we sit together, we come up with some pretty cool stuff. So I'm excited about the show today.
And guys, if that's why we're actually a couple minutes late to this live, because once you get the three of us talking about some idea, wait a second, no, that sounds good. Hold on a second. What if we? All right, guys, look, I love these two guys. I remember meeting them years ago and having a little conversation. I'm like, hey, we're thinking about doing a podcast. And I was like, absolutely, you got to do it. That would be the best thing you guys should do. And like, I've had the opportunity to watch you guys grow, and I just greatly appreciate you guys' passion and knowledge for this industry. It's been so awesome to be friends. So thanks, guys, for taking the time to come jam with me today.
Well, we honor you. We appreciate you. And of course, the Solutionaries, we're always trying to brew up good strategy. So no better person to do it than with Jason. We appreciate you, brother. And yes, there is a lot of energy that we get when we get together, just like those that are watching when they get with people that really push them to think bigger and do bigger. Man, you can't help but be inspired. And that's why we're excited to just brew with you. Can't wait for Vegas. It's next week, brother.
I love you guys' playing words. Let's brew. Let's brew in. Yeah. I always feel like I need to be like highly caffeinated when I get on a call with you guys. So I got to be highly caffeinated. All right, guys, look, biggest event of the year. I love it. I got my orange when you guys got this. Is so fun. Look, guys, biggest event of the year. Tons of education and workshops going on. Sensory overload in an expo hall. I mean, I swear they find every Bigtron, Megatron, whatever it is, and bring it all into a single location. It's stretched over 2 miles. All right, let's talk about what dealers need to do from a prep perspective going into the show. I'd love to get both your guys' perspective of what you guys think is a good suggestion or some best practices for anybody out there watching and listening right now who's heading to the show, and just make sure that they're prepared before they come.
And I'll take that real quick, unless Lou, you really need to jump on it. But, for us, really, it's just humbleness. That's the first thing. You got to go being a little humble. I know we have a lot of things that we want to go and share and some great practices that we believe are the best on the planet. But if you go in there with just a little bit of humbleness on you and you start to realize that there's so many things that there's room for, right? Which is one of the biggest things. What's the biggest room in the world, Lou?
The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement, everybody.
That's right. And we all fit inside that room. That's right. And if we all understand that we fit inside that room, then we'll be able to pick something up. We'll be able to take something back that will make an impact. You may be the #1 Ford store, the #1 Lexus store in the country, maybe even in the world, but that doesn't last forever if you don't constantly change what you're doing. And I think you got to #1 because of that. So I think a lot of those people understand what I'm saying here. Just come in a little humble and be ready to learn. Be ready to find one thing. You don't have to find a million. Find that one thing that you could take back and really do some big things with. And that's what I recommend just to start with. Be humble and find something, one thing, and be hopeful to find that and bring back to your team and really grow together. I'm sure Lou has something similar, but probably something even with bigger words. I love it. Let's go, Lou.
There's a lot that we can do to prep for it. And I want to encourage you all. It does start at the heart. If you do attack this with a humble heart, you do step forward acting like you don't know anything. As we've heard it called before, the white belt mentality. Going to this you'll get the best of it. As far as strategy goes, make sure that you jump onto the app, download the app, research who's going to be where, who's going to be doing what, and then start to level that next to your store. You still have a few days left before it's time to leave for the big event. So stop for a minute, pass your duties on to somebody else. Let yourself see what your store looks like from the customer point of view, and then see what it is that you need to bring back for your customer when you see where it is that you may be lacking. You may have it all together, but like we said, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. So wherever it is that you can see improvement, and you already got these tickets booked, you got the hotels booked, you got the parties already scheduled, you got your dinner plans handled, make sure that you have scheduled what it is that you need to learn that is actually going to come back to your store. Go there looking for it, and I assure you, you're going to find something. But if you go there hoping that it finds itself to you, well, that's no different than your guys just waiting for that up to show up and maybe be a deal. So don't put together maybe deals. Get out there and actually find what it is that you want for your store, but see what your store needs.
No, look, guys, I love what both of you guys said. I can definitely see a pattern here, guys. You know, for everybody out there watching and listening, you know, I can hear, you know, being humble. Like, what does that really mean? To be honest, right? Like, guys,
I love that.
Take a good look at 2025 for you, and just be honest. It's okay. There were probably some wins and there were probably some losses. Now, here's my best suggestion in how you kind of, let's say, organize those wins and losses. Break it down into the three categories that all three of us talk on a very regular basis. That's people, process, and technology. Okay. Because look, guys, like I said earlier, I had the opportunity to visit over 360 dealerships this year. All right. And when I had an opportunity to sit down with a handful of them and really dive deep into what was going on in their operations, if something wasn't working, it was usually because one of these three, or sometimes all three, were not in alignment. All right. The people weren't aligned. The process maybe just not existed, and there definitely wasn't a piece of technology that was wrapping that all up. So I love what you guys are saying. Be super honest. Take a look where your wins and losses were, and then I would say my suggestion is work backwards towards the education first. All right.
Oh yeah.
So work back there. Look, there are so many workshops, so many educational opportunities that if you're coming with a team, guys, you might have to divide and conquer here, because there are definitely some sessions that are overlapping each other, right? In fact, actually, speaking of sessions, guys, is there anyone that you guys are excited for? Just curious.
Man,
we're excited about a lot of them, right, Fred?
No, we really are. You know, unfortunately, Lou and I are not going to be able to make a lot of these sessions that we do. We have a lot of friends, and it was blessings to see so many posts about a lot of our friends who got first-time speaking opportunities, right? And they're out there, you know, and it's really cool to see that. I think a lot of people who applied this year got an opportunity that was almost felt like it was impossible, because they've applied multiple times, sometimes 10 years in a row, and they finally got their opportunity this year. So I'm really excited about that. There's so many names, it's almost hard to really throw them all shout outs, but you all know who you are. If you guys really want to know who's exciting, it's the ones that you're looking for. So if you see it, like he was talking about it, or this way, Jason. So if he was talking about, find the subject, reverse engineer it, and go look for people who are experts in that. Do a little bit of research. You still have plenty of time to do so before these real speaking events happen. I know some of them are already starting on Tuesday, and I know on Tuesday there's two guys that I'm going to throw a quick shout out to, because I know there's a lot, but these two guys we've worked with over the past forever. One of them was a huge inspiration to us starting a podcast, much like you, Jason, and so many others out there doing big things. And it's Glenn Lundy. He's going to be speaking that day, and so is Sam Cox. Sam Cox is kind of new to our game, but he's from Kentucky, like Lou and I, and we like to represent our Kentucky boys. And both those guys are Kentucky guys speaking, and this is Sam's and Glenn's first time speaking at NADA, so it's a pretty big deal. I'm very excited to see what they're going to be doing and dropping. But there's so many others. I really want to, you know, like,
Dude,
I know
Robin,
Robin, good friend of mine, is going to be doing speaking there, guest speaking. I mean, there's so many others, but it's just, what are you looking for? You know, and what are you trying to find? All these people are going to help you in the sales department. You may be there for fixed ops. If you're looking for fixed ops people, there's going to be some really great fixed ops speakers too. Yeah. Tons of them. So I mean, it's hard for me to pick. Like, I don't know. Like I don't want to. I threw those two shout outs because the Kentucky boys are also on Tuesday, and I know that's a day that a lot of people are like, oh, what do we do on Tuesday? Go check them two out. Those
are a couple good shout outs. And Lou, to your point, like, I was super impressed to see like how many dealers are speaking. In fact, actually, not even like, I saw how many dealers are coming internationally. Like, I just love the fact that NDA is kind of expanding this out and say, like, let's, you know, maybe not just hear from the same people over and over. let's expand out and really start hearing from different operations, different opportunities. So, guys, I think this is a great suggestion. Now, let's get past the education part. Now we're going to get into the expo hall. Oh my gosh, like lights and flashings and big screens and all this cool stuff, right? Here's the one thing that I know the three of us have talked about is, I find that a technology has to be rooted in leadership and culture for it to stick inside of a dealership. But I find a lot of people just aren't necessarily equipped to ask the right questions to determine if that technology is really going to assist in the leadership and promote the culture. And guys, I have to say, because I've been involved in a lot of demos lately, I'm getting a little frustrated with hearing AI replacing people. I know I won't go down that. I promise I won't go to that rabbit hole.
That's a long combo.
A whole podcast in this. I will tell you, look, this is just for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm telling you, any vendor that says AI is replacing people, walk away from them. Just don't talk to them. That's me. I don't know if Red and Lou feel the same, right? But like, this is a people business. People business. All right, guys. So for dealers out there heading to this expo, with lots of technology companies, they got to make sure that their tech is in line with their leadership and their culture. What are maybe some good ways to ensure that this technology is not affecting their leadership and culture? I know. I put the tough ones out there, guys.
Great question.
Big question. So I would think in priority order, first determine what is your culture, determine what are your processes, determine what are the important things for you and your people, and actually talk with your people. Guess what? You're leaving the camp to go find solutions for your people. Spend the time with your people to have a meeting to make them feel what they should feel when you're out finding solutions for them or fishing for them. Make sure that you find out what they're needing and what could help their needs, because you don't see it all, and you are blessed enough to have the eyes of every other person that you work with to be able to see things that you don't necessarily see. So one, I would make sure that you do have a culture that's communicative with your people to find out what is it that they need, because I'm going to the store, hon. What do you need while I'm gone? You know what I mean?
Great analogy. I love that.
Right? But the importance of not just knowing what your culture needs, but also what advances it or what challenges it. And then, of course, we are always going to lean on the side of consolidation, starting to reduce to the ridiculous the things that you actually need to complete what it is that your goals are for your business, for your company. There is a lot of noise, so that be prepared for that. We all know that, but making sure that you're looking for a certain sound, just like going into a record store. There's so many sounds that can come out of there and make different things, but you're going there for something that speaks for you, to you, and that you honor and can share with maybe with others. It's the same thing at an event like this, but have a culture that's communicated with your people. If you haven't done it before, just do it now. Just have the conversation. Hey, I'm about to leave. Who needs something? And what do you need me to get while I'm there? If you have that, then you're at least building something that's better when you do return, because there's an excitement that you have when mom or dad comes back with the bags of stuff from the groceries and says, hey, what's in there for me? Because I asked for this, right? There's an excitement for that. So don't let your swag bag be happenstance. Actually know what it is that you're going to bring back for your people, if that makes sense.
Wow, bro. I got to say, I almost feel like I'm interviewing you. Yes, that makes sense. That was phenomenal answer, Lou Ramirez. I love it, right? But no, seriously, that's such a good way of putting it, and it's the truth. Survey your team before you go. Really know what they want. You know a lot. Don't get me wrong, dealer. Don't get me wrong, general manager. Don't get me wrong, executive. I know you do. You look at data every single day and you care about your team. But if you truly care, get in there with them. Get in with the troops, right? As they call it, right? Really break bread with them and ask them those questions. Hey, what's the thing? And when you bring that back, you want to talk about a team that's going to support that product, support that process, support that whatever it is, they will. And they're going to go behind it way more than you could ever imagine. And they might actually do something else that makes them uncomfortable, like another idea you have, right? Do this, and we'll grow together. And you'll see a team that rises. So that's a great point. It's no different than a kid waiting for the groceries to come back and look inside the bag to see if I got them fruit roll-ups, right? Where my fruit roll-ups at, Mom?
Honestly, one of the best analogies I've had all week long, guys. And no surprise I was going to come to this call and I was going to get one of the best analogies I could. But no, you're absolutely right, because, like, I mean, Lou and Fred, I mean, what's the worst thing as a leader, we can do at our dealership is we come back with, you know, this fancy shiny thing, and we just are like,
that's it, you know.
Here,
Do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Do it. You know, like, no, look, you guys are absolutely right. I think having and to your point, I mean, you're like, yes, you're the leader, but you're also representing your team when you go there. So, you know, having that conversation of what the grocery list should be, I think is a really, really solid strategy. Look, guys, I know we're getting towards the tail end of our conversation, and I feel like, you know what, when we get into conversations like this, I feel like we could jam all day long if we really wanted to, and we probably would. But we actually get an opportunity to record on site, which I'm super excited for you guys to come by this Hero booth and have a great conversation. I know you guys are going to be having conversations kind of throughout the entire show. Yeah. So for everybody out there watching and listening right now who would love to, you know, connect with you maybe before the show or even at the show, what's a great way to connect with you guys?
You know, I'll tell you this. We're going to throw a quick shout out at 11:30 a.m. on day 2, which is Thursday. Make sure you come to booth 6368 North, right? That's where we're going to be hanging out with Jason, getting interviewed. So that's the first place that you need to put down in your books, because we're going to bring the energy. We're going to bring some fun. It's going to be 3 of us in person together. Come on, y'all. Plus the energy of the event. But yeah, the very first day, we're going to be at the Automotive Mastermind booth. We're going to be there for the first 4 hours. We're going to be doing a lot of announcing, but we're going to have a lot of free time to try to grab some side interviews. If you ever wanted to be interviewed by us, we left our schedule open because we're going to have some fun. We're going to include people walking by, people who've never been interviewed by us. We're not going to hold a schedule. We're going to let you come to us and let you find a way to be able to get on our cameras, right? And we're going to have some fun doing that. But more after that, we're going to be all over the place. Pure Cars. We're going to be at Drive Centric, right? We're going to be at there's a new one that we just hooked up with that I'm excited to talk about, and they have some really cool product. You should connect with them too. His name is Todd Ketcher. I don't know if you've dealt with him yet, but Todd is an amazing guy. He's got the digital dealership. His booth.
Yep. Actually, you know what's funny? Here's a funny story. You want to hear a funny story about me and Todd? So me and Todd had known each other for over a decade. And I'll tell you the reason why we know each other. It's the hilarious thing. So I run an agency called Digital Dealership Solutions. His business is digital dealership systems.
Yep.
So we were getting phone calls for each other's products and support emails and couldn't figure out who the hell this other person was. And finally, I called him. And I'm like, hey, my name is Jason. And they're like, oh, are you running this? I said, yeah. And we just became friends. So no, dude, I'm with you. Todd's
That's awesome.
One of the coolest guys out there.
and he's got some really cool things and ideas, and and his product right now is dope. So come check us out at all those places. We're going to be doing some great interviews. The first night, we're going to be there Tuesday. We're going to be at Jason's party. So if you haven't RSVP'd for that, y'all, this is going to be like superstars of automotive are all going to be there. We're all going to be checking in because this is somebody that you come in and you say hello to, because Jason always holds the best parties. He always has something going on, some sweets. Y'all, he knows what's up. So
you know what? I'm definitely, guys, you know me. I'm not one to typically toot my horn in any way or form. I'm really not. I'm a pretty humble person, but I'm going to say when it comes to throwing a networking party, toot. All right. I'm pretty good at throwing a good networking party.
Classy. So, it's classy. You got the wine, you got the liquor, you always, but you have food, you have good company and great conversation.
That's the killer, dude. Honestly, that is the best part, is the actual great conversations. That is what they're like putting all this together, big room, big suites, all that stuff. Honestly, it's the conversations. And if that's what it takes to drive people in to create these conversations, dude, I love how the depth of conversations that happen at these things. I mean, I know some people that have created some pretty big partnerships. Like we met at this. Anyways, I digress.
Beautiful, man. So thank you for it.
It's going to be
if your get-togethers are where it is that they need to be. Well, we love to say that your networking get-togethers are 100%
CGC approved. That's right.
Approved. Well, guys, look, I always have a great time when we get to talk. I'm so looking forward to NADA. For everybody out there watching and listening, we appreciate you. Look, because you're watching this show, it immediately makes you a game changer and a certified
solutionary.
Thank you. All right, because you're taking the time, all right, to invest in yourselves and putting together a strategy and a plan to go to one of the biggest conferences of the world. Hey, one of the biggest compliments you can give us as content creators is to share the show. Look, I'm not gonna ask you to smash the subscribe and uppercut the like, because look, I know you're not going to. But all right, One of the biggest compliments you give us as content creators, if you got a friend or a manager or a colleague that needs to see some part of today's conversations, biggest compliments you can give us is to share the show. It means a lot to us. It really does. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time to jam with me today. This has been a blast. For everybody out there, we will see you very soon in ADA. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Strategy with Jason podcast. Your host, Jason Harris.